So hey y'all, I'm at work, but something came to mind and I wanted to, share it. So what I was thinking about is the definition of love. What is love? Um, what is it? Is love mean different things to different people? Um, for some, it's about the ability to be selfless, to put somebody else ahead of you, to compromise, to sacrifice. It's full of sacrifices. And I think sometimes that we forget, we forget that love is not all peaches and cream. Um, Sometimes we get wrapped up in fairy tales, these happily ever after deals, and we forget about the flip side, the other side of love. Love is for better or for worse, for rich and poor. So you have to love people through whatever times, in all seasons, throughout. And love can be very challenging at times. You know, it can be very challenging, and it's especially when you have to sacrifice your happiness in order to make somebody else happy. Not only that, sometimes you catch yourself learning to, well, I say when you mature in love, you're able to put aside your feelings to keep peace, you know. And sometimes it's really not a good feeling at all, having to be quiet, having to not share how you feel because you want to keep peace, or you want somebody else to feel good, or you don't want to turn a positive, what could be good, to negative, you know. So what do you do when you feel like, dang, like I'm making all the sacrifices, it's always me giving, 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 giving. I'm always compromising. I'm always the one being considerate, you know. And it seems like the other part of the love, is all about that person. So that's why it takes two, you know, to definitely be, you definitely got to be equally yoked, because like they said, if one pulling, everybody can't, one person can't pull both, it begins to be very, the load to be too heavy, and then the other person to be feeling like, oh, I'm giving more than I'm getting, you know what I'm saying? All you doing is taking or receiving from me, but you're not putting anything into me. I'm putting everything into you, and that's the way it is sometimes. You have to be selfless, and you hope that the person on the other side of it will learn to be selfless as you are willing to be. And that's why sometimes that love don't always feel so good, because you have to keep your mouth, to keep the peace, or to demonstrate how much you really love a person. Loving a person sometimes includes keeping your mouth closed even when you want to say something. And just like in the Bible, it's saying that you have to be quick to listen and slow to speak, because everything is not always, don't always need to be said. And just because you know the answer don't mean you know how to deliver the answer. So you just have to put a lot of things in perspective and just be careful, because you don't want to put anything out there too quick and hurt the other person's feelings, even though they seem to not be sensitive of yours, So it's just a lot of give and take when it comes to love. Love is very complex, and it have you up, like you be on cloud 9 when you up, and when you down you can be is like feeling like you 10 feet under, so it's definitely complex, it's full of emotions, sometimes you love a person and sometimes you hate them, and the same thing you love a person for can be the very same thing that you hate them for. So it's just all about, I don't know, it's crazy, because everybody had a different definitions of what love is and what is it to be, how it should feel, but it's really no real way, to measure it, to really give a true definition, because love sometimes hurt. Sometimes you hurt yourself to make somebody else feel love, or make somebody else feel confident, or at peace, so it's like you just have to understand that love will definitely stretch you. A lot of people want love, but are you willing to let it stretch you? Love is staying with a person even though they hurt you. Can you do that? Can you love them beyond the bad moments, or would you just throw in a towel and be like, this ain't my idea of what I think love is? So it definitely, love is something that you have to work on constantly. It's something that you grow in. It's something that you won't always know. You won't always get it right. It's experience that teach you how to love people, and it's also experience to teach you how to love yourself, and it's kind of hard to love a person or expect for a person to love you when it's kind of hard for you to love yourself. And when I say that is, and no matter what a person do, or how much they tell you they love you and they care for you, if you don't feel that way about yourself, ain't nothing in the world that they can do. Ain't enough love in the world that'll make you believe that. You have to believe it within you or whatnot. So it's, I don't know, it's very, complex.